Hello everybody, welcome to Gen Z Finance. I'm an older Gen Z here on YouTube documenting my financial journey. So today is Thursday the 28th. I always get my paychecks from my full-time job one day early. So we are going to go ahead and budget out this money now. So here on my screen you see YNAB, which stands for You Need a Budget. It is my preferred and favorite budgeting method out there that's ever existed. I love it. And I budget my paychecks here on my channel every other Friday as I receive them with y'all. So this $1,088.16, this is my take-home pay after all taxes, retirement deductions, health insurance deductions, everything. This is what I can expect to take home every 2 weeks for the most part, as long as I don't further change my contributions or deductions. So this is after 33% of my gross pay is taken out to fund my 401k, and that will hopefully allow me to max out my 401k by the end of the year. This is also after, like I said, my medical, vision, and life insurance. And then I also have $130 every check taken out for my HSA as well, so that I can max that out. And then obviously we have taxes. If you want a full breakdown of what my deductions are, please go check out my Instagram at Zennial Finance. That's Zennial Finance on Instagram. Today I posted a bunch of stories going over each one of my deductions and how I get from my gross pay to my net income and the breakdown and percentages of it all. So if you're interested in more details, that's where you can go. For now, we're just going to take this money and start budgeting it. So if I just scroll down into January, everything is fully funded as expected because I do fund at least 1 month in advance. So we're going to jump forward into February and scroll down. You can see I've already funded some of this, and that was from the first paycheck of January. So now we're going to move to my responsibilities. We're going to fund the last half of my bills to my mom. So that is now fully funded at $400. My monthly subscriptions are covered, and then I save for my annual subscriptions underneath this separate subscriptions group. So all of my annual subscriptions are covered as well. Under monthly varied, I already have the $65 a month that I'm setting aside for gas, so we'll be doing $25 into dining out / food and drink, $50 into other. Something I didn't mention last time is you see I have these notes here on these 3 categories: no spend, a limited spend, and no spend. So this was part of me trying to identify the categories that would be part of YNAB's 34-day reset challenge. YNAB was sponsoring a challenge where for 34 days you spent absolutely nothing on dining out, and the third rule was that you cut all unnecessary spending as much as possible. So I decided that for the most part, all of the kind of quote-unquote bad spending or the not allowed spending would be coming from these 3 categories. So I just have these notes here as kind of an idea to myself. Try not to spend from this. I'll be going over all of my spending for January and how I actually did with that challenge when I post my January end of month review, and that should be coming out on February 2nd. So if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed. Oh, we need to do donations. Okay, so I have a goal set for $20. However, I'm going to come down here and edit this and change it to $50 because I want to try to challenge myself to give on average $50 a month. So we're going to say $50 here.
We will change this. 50 here.
Everything else in my giving category is funded, gifts, family giving, and then I won't be funding any into random acts of kindness right now. We're going to come back up to this F.I.R.E section. This is where I track my investments, and we're going to come down to my sinking funds. I'm going to do $25 into clothing and $15 into electronics, and finally $150 into travel and trips. Nothing else needs to be funded in my sinking funds right now. This taxes, I have actually done almost all of my taxes. I'm just waiting to make sure I don't need one more tax form from my M1 brokerage account. I opened that in 2020. It's the first year I've had a taxable brokerage account. So I believe all forms need to be sent out or made available by February 15th for that. I don't think I'll actually get a form because I had less than $10 in dividends in 2020 and I didn't sell anything in that account, but just to be completely safe, I'm waiting a couple more weeks, but I've already entered in everything else for my taxes, and I currently only owe around $67 or so in taxes, and you can see I have set aside $400 for the year. So we're definitely eventually going to move some of this tax money around, but I'm just going to wait until I file my taxes for sure. Okay, so now we're going to move back up to my F.I.R.E section, and I'm underfunded by $250 for my Roth IRA, so I'll fund that. So now we're ready for that automatic investment transaction to hit on the 1st of February. We're going to flip back into January, and I'm going to come down to my savings categories. So I've updated a couple of things in my budget since the last time we talked. So on these first 4 line items underneath my savings category, I added a second emoji, and they all have the same SOS emoji at the beginning, and that was just a visual way for me to differentiate these 4 line items, because this is what I would consider my emergency fund. Like if someone asked me, hey, how much is your emergency fund? I would say, well, between these 4 categories, that would equal almost $1,200, $11,700. So I just put that SOS emoji before each line, again, as a kind of quick way for me to see that. So that's one change that I have done in my budget since the last time we talked. I'm now going to budget $200 into my next year deductible. So even though it's January 2021 and I have a full $4,500 currently saved for medical needs, I'm already thinking worst case scenario, something really bad happens to me or something really costly happens to me near the end of 2021 and I have to dip in or maybe even completely deplete medical deductible or my entire out-of-pocket max for the year. I want to have some money set aside for the next year medical expenses. I want to save some money every single year for the next year, just in case, like I said, the worst case scenario happens and I'm left with paying all of these medical bills towards the end of the year, and that leaves me very little to help sustain me if something were to happen at the beginning of next year. So hopefully that made sense. If you're an American, I'm sure you understand. Even if you're not maybe implementing this yourself, I'm sure it makes sense to you. I'm sure other countries are like, what? But $200 is going into the next year deductible category. So I have $123.16 left. And this is a good time to talk about another change that has happened since the last time we talked. Let's jump back into February. If I jump into February and look at this brokerage line item, you can see that there's a little calendar emoji next to this goal. I have gone ahead and set up automatic transactions into my M1 brokerage account. So every Monday, $50 is taken from my checking account and automatically invested into my brokerage account. So you can see that here, there are 4 Mondays in February, and I have set up scheduled transactions in YNAB to help me track this as well. So I am currently underfunded by $200. However, I don't need to fund all of it right now. I only need to cover the transactions that happen before I get paid next. So I get paid next from my full-time job on February 12th. So I only need to cover the transactions for February 1st and February 8th, which is $100. So we're going to go ahead and budget that into this line item in February. That leaves me with $23.16. So I'm going to come down to my sinking funds, and you can see I've already spent some money out of this travel and trips category. Again, I'll talk about the spending in my January wrap up and review. So I do expect to spend a little bit more from this category actually this weekend. Without going into too many details, because again, I can talk about it when I do my wrap up, I am going camping this weekend, and currently my budget is set for about $70. It should be enough, so I already have spent $45. My budget for this weekend is another $70. I just want to put in a little bit more into this category to make up the difference. I'm going to add another $20 into travel and trips. That leaves me with $3.16, and we can move this to my holding category. The last thing I did want to mention, just let y'all know an update again that happened with my finances and my budget, is that I have a new on-budget checking account. As you can see here, M1 spend. If you check out my last video, it was not there in the sidebar in my last video. So M1 finance, I've already talked a lot about in previous videos and over on my Instagram as well. They are my main brokerage account. Like many online brokerage accounts, they also offer a checking account, which I've never been interested in personally. However, I was offered 1 free year of M1 Plus, which is kind of like a premium version. Typically, I think it's like $120 for a year, and it gives you like special perks, like you get a second trading window or you get to borrow at a lower rate. It's definitely not necessary. It was never something that I was personally interested in, but M1 was doing a promotion where they were giving away 1 year of their premium version for free, so I figured why not. And one of the best perks with their Plus version is that their checking account does get 1% interest, which at this point in time is actually very high for a no-fee checking account with no real strings attached. So I did go ahead and open that account and move, you can see $1,850 into that account from my main credit union, currently acting as just a savings account for me. It's money that I don't need to touch for a while. At least for the next year, it will get me 1% interest, which is better than the interest I was getting at my credit union. So that's going to be it for this video. I recommend checking out my January wrap up once I post it. A lot of interesting things I feel like happened this month for me financially. And I'm really excited to look at all of my numbers and get the full breakdown of how much I made, how much I actually got to invest, how my investments did this month, and how much I spent, and whether or not I actually stuck to that 34-day reset challenge. Okay, so that's going to be everything for me. Like I mentioned before, follow me on Instagram at @ZennialFinance. The link will be down below. If you are interested in trying out M1 Finance, they are currently running a promotion through the end of February. If you use my referral link down below, you will get an extra $30 to invest once you deposit $100 into the account. So you will get an extra $30 and I will get an extra $30. Usually their referral bonuses are $10. So this is a really big promotion that they're running. So again, link will be down below if you're interested in trying it out. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below as well. And as always, I hope y'all are staying safe and healthy and that you have a good day.